Well. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Bit tired myself. I'd be lying if I wasn't. Kind of hard to get up after you go to bed at like fucking midnight. I was like sprinting to get ready. Holy shit. I think Diesel got me sick because now I have a cold. Dude, I got my whole family sick. I'm on a backup cam today, so like the frame rate is all fucking wonky on this. I don't like using this camera for that. This is usually the one I use for my main videos. Um, so it works. It probably looks even better than the other camera that I normally use. It is not meant to be used in this scenario, but I didn't want to wait any longer, and I need to. The camera's too old to get serviced, so I need to figure out what to do. Yeah, I think I'm running at 24 frames on this, which is like whatever. Like I usually stream at 60, but this one's just gonna be really fucking strange, right? But but yeah, we're just gonna have to deal. I really don't want to use this one. I really don't want to use this one. It is really not meant for this. Um, but it fuck. I'm so fucking upset that that one doesn't work. So I hope I can fix it. If not, oh well, we'll see. I've been using it since about 2020. So 6 years of near daily use is pretty good. Um, Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage. So I'm gonna hope that I'm not mourning it for the last time. I just really don't have time to work on it until about Sunday or Monday. I really need to be like an early riser. I need to be an early riser, Andy, but I'm not. I really struggled to get up this morning. It really the color on this looks amazing though. I would be lying if it didn't. I really like it, dude. Undo that button. I already undid the top button, you know. So we got a lot to get through. Not an obscene amount of time today. Near daily being really generous there. I do other things from the streaming.
Nice something to watch while I wait for my night shift to start in the bakery.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of y'all probably are like finishing your night shift type shit, or waking up first thing in the day. Um, what is that? What is here? I have Xander Hall's 4,000. What is that? uh, but yeah, so we got a lot to get into. And I'm on battery. So if the camera goes, that's because my battery died. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to go over the Mugen confrontation call at the end of this, and then we'll just get into everything else. I was kind of polling people at my store about this stuff, and I've got to... because I was kind of curious to see what they would say. Sometimes I'll bring up drama to normal people to hear their take on it, and I'm gonna be like a little bit parentheses evil now and say the following. Look, man, if you are 19 and 20, 19, 20, 21, early 20s, and you hook up with someone in their 30s and they basically take you for a ride, fuck you, and then leave, then like, oh well, not to be that piece of shit. Like, I've been taken for a ride before. It happens. That's not uncommon. And it's way worse if you're not to double standard it, but it's way worse if you're a guy, because nobody gives a fuck and they think, well, you're a guy, at least you had sex. Why do you care? Well, we're not all actually like monsters like that, but it's the thing. If you are an adult and you consent to have sex, or like you have a fling with someone, that can just be a fling. It's okay. I think there's something to be said about like you put too much like emotional stock in somebody you just meet. And that's like just straight up like it's immaturity, and it's kind of something you got to learn. The girl who's like confronting Sykkuno like literally just needs to come to terms with that. If it wasn't going to be Sykkuno, it was going to be somebody else. And she'll probably be that person to somebody else in the future. She will take somebody for a ride in the future. And then on top of that, not to paint a wide brush here, and I don't know if this is existing downstream of people saying that they're sexually active on the internet, like peacocking, but not having sex. She shows like hole on the internet. For her to be so like almost put off by the idea that a guy would try and take her for a ride, I find a bit kind of strange. Um, not to say that, you know, because she shows hole on the internet, she is not allowed to be romantic. Just that, like, you know, um, if you make porn on the internet, there are many men that would kind of reach out to you with not the best intentions. So, like, you know, I should also say, uh, you kind of like it's just you kind of figure that out. Really, it's just kind of crazy that like if you show hole on the internet, you don't figure that out. I don't know. It's kind of crazy she fell for the whole move in and adopt a cat thing. Makes me sad. I feel like she's a little desperate for attention. Yeah, that's like really crazy. If you're like only in like a fling and it's like real casual, like hookup kind of e-date type shit, and the guy's talking about like starting a life with you, you need to like kind of reel yourself in, you know? You're saying she seems naive. Yeah, in some respects, yes. But then if I say she's naive, I'm kind of like saying she's naive would like like excuse her of the consequences of her own actions, you know? It's just like if you post porn, you've been played by plenty of guys. So like why does this one get to be different? And I know the answer to that is that he's famous. Um, and I gotta be honest, I've been doing again. This is one of the things where I go, I've been doing this for a long time. Um, YouTube famous is not real life famous at all. Nobody gives a shit. And it's like I couldn't give a fuck if you have 1 million subscribers. If you have 1 million subscribers and you think you're the shit, you're a jobless F slur. Okay, like there's no other way to put it. Like you're jobless. You're jobless. Okay? Because nobody cares. You're just a person. You really are. I've met amazing people who are quote unquote e-celebs and awful people who are quote unquote e-celebs. I've met awful regular people and great regular people. To the concept of being parasocially intoxicated by another person is something that you need to throw out of your mind really quickly, especially if you're a creator. If you're a creator and you're unable to do that, you will not survive in this field. Honestly, 100%. That's just something you need to figure out how to get past. If I got into calls with people much more famous than me and then got awestruck at their presence, I am just like like you're just making it like you're just weird like for everybody. Diesel, there are two types of people, YouTubers and humans. Did I say parasocial or did I say parasocial? Yeah, if you're in creator spaces and get parasocial like that, you're in for a wild ride. So the only you know, Axis is probably at work right now, but he would say that that's normal in VTuber spaces. If you guys watch a lot of VTuber spaces or you pay attention to the twitter.com aka X to everything app of VTuber spaces, they almost encourage the idolization. It's normal to encourage that. I've seen a lot of people be like, I'm really heartbroken that Bao would do this. Bao the whale, the VTuber. I'm really heartbroken that Bao to do this because I've always looked up to her. She's always been really entertaining and funny. And this is a tweet I read yesterday, and I'm just like, a real person was less than honest with a thing that they went through and experienced? Wow. It's just like did you just wake up today? Did you just were you birthed yesterday? You know? Don't get me wrong, I like certain VTubers, right? Like I watch certain VTubers on occasion, right? But I'm not sitting here being like, wow, I really idolize how Iron Mouse can really cultivate an audience. It's like, okay. I think it's perfectly fine to be disappointed in someone online, but I wouldn't add on I looked up to them. Yeah, you can be like disappointed, but you could just be like, "Oh man, that's shit." And then move on, you know? But I'm seeing essay long fucking Twitter blue post about how upset they are, and I'm just like, you need to get a grip. Like, Jesus Christ, I know unemployment's affecting all of us, but you've gone too far. It stands really quiet after this take. I don't know. It would be like if you guys, I mean, I'm certain some of you would be really disappointed if I quote unquote made a ginormous mistake. But anytime I've made a mistake, first of all, the only time I can like quantifiably think of a mistake I've made has been so tiny and non-consequential to the overall arc of the drama that it didn't matter, and I apologized instantly, which is normal and appropriate. But what kind of mistake would ruin your career? I don't know, some gooning thing probably, right? Currently watching the stream from bed, trying to get things done. Let's go. I almost said from bread. Coming in from coming in a fan. Yeah, me coming in a fan. Me having a child out of wedlock. This is why I watch Diesel, Beckett, and Chris, the only reasonable ones. Okay, first of all, Chris doesn't even stream. Um, I mean, I don't know. Would you call me reasonable? I don't know if I'd call me reasonable. I guess I am. I don't know. I feel like I'd be glazing myself at that rate. Um, anyway, you guys want to get this shit on the road. Fucking, I put the thing in the wrong spot. And then this window. There we go. I miss Chris. We all do.
I'm so happy.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's get back into this. So, like I said, for those of you that have not been following this drama, this guy Sykkuno basically was racking up hits with some hot e-girl baddies. Meanwhile, he had a girlfriend. So basically, the general gist of this is that when the expose comes out on him, these women expose him as being a duplicitous cheater, but then go the extra mile of saying that he was a famous guy and predator, and implied that there was some unconsensual intercourse or unconsensual hookup or some power dynamic coercion for intercourse. But at every single step and release of information, even within the exposed video, it appears that Sykkuno was appropriate, polite, consensual, and also buying things for these women, of which they gladly took, which definitely is not a super good look on their part. Again, these women can definitely be victims of his cheating, but in the same breath, they also need to understand that they have basically taken. So here's one of the hard parts with this, right? So if you're a victim of being the side chick of a YouTuber, right? And then who's more of a victim, right? Like you can't like if you're the side chick and your feelings are hurt and you go to the girlfriend and you say, "Girlfriend, your boyfriend has been cheating on you with me." And then the girlfriend says, "Wow, this is really bad. I'm really upset right now, and then cries. And then the side chick says, yeah, I'm going to expose your boyfriend. And then the girlfriend says, could you not do that? I'd like to handle this in private with my partner. And then the side chick says, no, I think I'm going to put this out anyway. Like, I don't like both of these women can be hurt, but I feel like if one of the women in these scenarios says that they don't want the information out there, what can you do? That's like a catch 22. Like, there's no way somebody's getting through this without somebody else getting hurt. They are lesser victims, but the way they centered their feelings instead of the girlfriends makes me feel incredulous. Yeah, they're definitely lesser victims, but like, even if the shoe was on the other foot, would it would still, they could still feel just as equal, like they could still feel hurt, right? Like, there's no way for this to come out with either party not feeling upset. Like, somebody's going to feel upset at the end of this. Like, there's no way. There's no way, because somebody's going to lose. It's like a losing game. Anyway, so this Mal chick is eating some fuck ass breakfast, and she's calling Sykkuno, who's the boyfriend in his loveless relationship, which is very apparent. And now that like Sykkuno's response has come out, it's very clear that their relationship is based solely on like Sykkuno's financial dependency. Like, financial, his girlfriend is financially dependent on him, which is why they're together still. But it seems like they are like together, but not really together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together. We hadn't done it together for years.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
So this is something that it's like, I understand what he's saying, and I think a lot of us would if we've been in relationships before. It's not even like if you guys have been in a relationship where it's like it's kind of run its course and you guys are together, but you don't really feel like romantically attached to each other. This is like where that relationship is at. Just because he's saying that doesn't make it true. He's a cheater. He could just be lying. Yeah, obviously he could just be lying, right? But like, you got to look at the things that have remained consistent throughout his story versus the things that have changed. The only thing that's really changed between here and now is that they found out he has a partner. But I am 100% of the belief that he does not have, quote unquote, lots of experience. I believe that. That seems true. He talks like he doesn't have a lot of experience. And given the way society is these days, I would imagine that to be true as well. Yeah, I've been in that position. You still shouldn't cheat. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm saying that this is like complicated, right? Like, these things are like complicated, right? Like, if you like are the reason for somebody having a roof over their head and you're in a relationship, but you both don't love each other anymore, and you're like, I'm done, but you don't want to kick them out, well, then if you have the conversation about ending the relationship, you're also having the conversation about kicking them out. So that definitely is like one of those things where it's like, well, you're going to be putting someone up now, so that's not good, right? So the entire conversation is not going to be good or easy, which is a conversation you need to have to get through it at the end of the day. You're just avoiding the inevitable. But yeah, I could understand somebody being like, I'm not romantically attracted to you anymore, but I care enough that I know that if I made you homeless, that would be an issue. But you're also not sleeping with me, but we haven't really said anything about it, right? These are like really complicated. These are really complicated. It's not like it's just like, oh, well, fuck it. It's so easy, right? We can all sit here and be like, well, cheating's bad. Obviously, the correct answer is to end a relationship. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's the correct answer. No shit. Obviously, you're not in a fucking position, which is why it's so easy. You can say that with like 100% hindsight because you don't have any stake in the game.
Mm-hmm. So you slip with Elfie in Paris.
I mean, I could always be able to try and support her while she tries to get herself set. Yeah. You could imagine, though, once you have that conversation, the entire dynamic in the house probably is going to change completely. Things are going to get, you know, more complicated.
And then you flirted with me. And were telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas.
It really doesn't help that this girl sounds like the biggest giga pick-me ever. Yeah, dude, who's in Paris? Dude, who's in Paris? Who's in Paris? I think Kanye sung about this.
And how you wanted to.
By the way, I tried listening to the new Kanye album. I really wanted to be like, all right, he's better now. And then like a day later, he's like, clavicular, please be okay. Sources tell me clavicular stable. And I'm like, Kanye, God damn it.
To go on a date and how you were serious about me. And how you really meant and how you wanted.
Oh my God. I cannot stand her voice. It really isn't doing her any favors, you know. She's rightfully upset. She's rightfully upset. But she sounds like exactly what you think is the thing, you know. This call and the Turkey Tom one are so similar to me.
To go get a cat together.
Dude, if you're a content creator, you gotta be like really sexy, but can't have sex and can never talk to anybody, okay? It's both, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
And again, I just want to put into perspective here that this is not like a easy break off the relationship thing. I think if the man is not abusive, you could understand why this is just difficult for both parties in the relationship. Absolutely.
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not gonna go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only gonna get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're.
I'm sorry. It's just she on the spectrum / serious guy / serious tone indicator right now. She sounds like she's holding the Death Note. Okay? This is like when Arcanum was talking about the 17.8% of people.
Smarter than that.
Not letting the girlfriend be dependent on him anymore could put her at risk. So like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's another thing where I've said this before and by the way, this has happened to like multiple women I've known in my life, and it's very frustrating. Because I've tried to be like really clear about it with them and explain it to them that it's like, look, man. So for perspective, I had in college, I was like 21, 22. Yeah, around there. 20, yeah, around there. I had a situationship with a girl. She played support on League of Legends, so that should tell you what she's like. But it was like a really heated situationship, right? She had an e-boyfriend from like fuck off Mississippi. Yeah. So, but I was like, I don't give a shit that you have an e-boyfriend from Mississippi. I'm right here and I'm hot. And so that was what our like we had like a very tense, like sexually charged friendship. And you know, at some point her boyfriend was moving up from Mississippi to see her. Was moving up from like Mississippi to Massachusetts where we were. And I was like, you shouldn't move in with him. You've only known him, like you've only seen him 3 times in your entire life. Like you can't move in with him. And I'm like, and on top of that, you're not even interested in him. And she was like, yeah, well, you know, I don't want to live on campus and I'm tired of like being dependent on my parents. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't live with your parents, you live at college. And I was like, look, if you move in with him, you're going to be dependent on him. You don't make enough money to move out. It would be very stupid for you to do that. Do not do that. And Nazi D's will be like, fuck me now. We all start somewhere. The boyfriend was black. And so there was a lot of hang-ups there that I had to work out, but you know, that's besides the point. Even though my advice was coming from a place of I want something out of this, my advice was correct, and I stand by it. That if you move in with him, you are going to be dependent on him. And I said that. And I said, you were being a fucking idiot. I said, you were being a fucking idiot. Do not do that. She did it anyway. And of course, I was really frustrated. And anyway, literally like right after we I moved on, right? Like I told her, I'm like, look, I can't keep doing this. This is ridiculous. Fuck you. I told you so. And then I moved on. Literally like a week later, I met somebody. And then we dated for a very long time. So, you know, all's well that ends well. And then I stopped being racist because Latinas make you something crazy, right? So that happened. Anyway, the point of all this to say is I found out much later that my predictions came to fruition of where she was dependent on this guy. And he had ended up domestically abusing her. And he ended up going to prison. So that ended up happening. But yes, that really did happen. I swear to God. And yeah, so that was like a moment where I was like, okay, like I recognized like I was being stupid and selfish about it at the moment. But since that, I had definitely maintained the like standard with myself. For other women I date is that they need to be able to be financially independent without me, because I don't want somebody I date to be dependent on me for their survival. I think it's much more feminist and emancipatory to say that as a woman you should be able to maintain your life on your own, irrespective of having a man in it. Sucks that happened. At least he got thrown in jail for that. Yeah, at the very least, you know, it did. Yeah, never let anyone be dependent on you for your survival except your babies. 100%. 100%. Definitely wasn't the only time that I experienced something like that. It's such a shame because I've met lots of really young and talented women who have done that, and unfortunately I do think it's something that like people get through in their early relationships. They need to like figure out that you can't like be dependent on other people. Some people really get stuck there, which is like the awful part. I've had people that I've really loved in my life end up in those positions, and it's always been like really frustrating for me to see. So seriously, if you guys are like a girly in the chat, love yourself and get like a really good fucking job and be able to take care of yourself, and you'll be able to attract a man worthy of your time. But never, never, ever, ever allow a man to control your finances or control your ability to live or any of that. Ever. Don't ever do that. Because I've seen it and it's awful, and it's been awful every time, and it's just shit. I'm supporting my husband while he navigates college. We're both almost 30, and I want to go back to college, and he's going to support me. But I think we're an unlikely case. I think that if that's where you're at, that's pretty good, honestly. Because that's a different position to be in, too. You're also, you know, just make sure that it's equivalent, and you'll like he'll support you when you're going through that, too. You know, it's about that equal exchange. Guys I go out with want to be taken care of, but they don't want to be house husbands by any means. Yeah. I've definitely, and to be clear, I've also seen this the other way too. Where it's like there's a lot of dudes that like are struggling to put their life together, and then they end up house husbands. But you know what I've noticed is like the guys that end up house husbands are like really good at it. That's the one caveat there. I ain't never seen a guy clean better than a guy who's home. You know, I've never seen a guy make a better garden.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
And I also, again, another thing I gotta say is I know too many millennials that have no dating experience to like beat a guy over the head anymore. I have too much life experience to know that just because you're 34 doesn't mean that you know how to pick them or that you know how to navigate relationships, right? It's like, I gotta be honest, everybody I've ever met in my entire life is at such a large and different place in their life that the concept of being like, you're blank years old, why don't you know that? It's like, brother, I know people that are 40 years old without high school degrees. There's lots of things that a lot of people don't know. There's lots of things that I don't know that I've figured out in the past 2 years of my life. In the last year, in the last 6 months, you know? Jesus Christ, I know more about like workers' rights laws now than I did when I was working for other people.
Don't think that's what I'm acting like, but
I mean, you say you're not smarter than that, but you are. You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it. You knew damn well in the back of your head that wasn't gonna end up well.
That he should have known, though. He should have been able to like, you know, oh, if I sleep around, it's probably not going to be good for me in the long term. Yeah, but are you a boss now? Yeah, so that's, but that's the thing is like, you don't ever get exposed to those things when you're not a boss. The point I'm making is that like, you need new experiences in life in order to build up understandings about different things.
yeah.
So Diesel is a slave driver. Absolutely. I work more hours than most of my staff. I am feeling better. I'm definitely not like 100, but I'm like 80 now, which is good. Shout out to azithromycin, dude.
It's complicated.
It's really not. Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on. It's pretty cut and dry.
You're X years old, so you should be Y. That's like you know when they talk about the AI, it's like the X situation is Y. You know, this is like the X situation is Y.
Yeah, but she relied on me to take care of a lot of things, and I still cared about her.
Yeah, I don't think that's a lie, right? I don't think that's a lie, because him being like, I was done, I wasn't getting anything sexually out of the relationship, but she still relied on me. Where it's like, okay, well, now you need to work out something with your partner and then figure out how to move on, right? Like if you are 20 and you've never lived on your own and you've never like I'm not excusing the cheating. It is bad. But what I'm saying here is that the logic makes sense, right? Not for cheating, but why he didn't break it off with her. Right? The whole like, I care about her, but like not in the same way, and I'm kind of done.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you do that because you wanted to, not because you...
See, that's the thing. That's how I know she is like a fucking, like, that's what I will say about, like, she's 20, right? And that she doesn't understand, right? It's like, well, you did that because you wanted to. Well, if you're taking care of someone, you might feel a certain duty to keep doing it. Even though it might not be appropriate or okay to keep doing it, you might feel like you have to because that's the right thing to do, right? Ultimately, it's not the right thing to do because in the long term, it's going to hurt the person, right? But in the short term, you're going to feel like I need to do this or I will destroy this person. So it's like, yeah, absolutely, right? But to just quantify it as like, well, you wanted to do it, so it's your fault. If you are the reason that somebody is not homeless, that's a lot of responsibility, Okay? That's a lot of responsibility.
Not because she was like holding it against you or forcing you to.
It's not even like a hold it against it. It's not even like it was a holding it against it. The expectations are that you don't like upend somebody's entire life.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one.
Yeah, okay. You know what? This is one of those moments. This is where, like, you know, the age thing definitely does come into play here. Because at 20, again, you don't really have these kind of responsibilities. You really don't. I have so many more responsibilities at 28 than I did at 20. You know, I'm not allowed to be as selfish now. I have to make a lot more sacrifices at this age than I did then. That's a difference. That is a huge difference that has changed in my life. I could be a lot more morally righteous in my early 20s, you know, because I really hadn't like understood the complexities of personal, you know, relationships.
Just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because you just chose to do it. I don't know why you decided to lie to me, because you know damn fucking well that lying especially is like a big thing I do not tolerate.
Sykkuno picked a 20-year-old though, so he technically asked for this. That's true. That's true, yeah. And he's whispering in his own mortgaged home. You know, that's another thing. The cat's out of the bag. She knows about the second woman, or third, fourth, fifth woman. At that rate, he might as well just be like talking at full volume. Granted, probably would make her cry more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is why you don't date people way younger, even if they can consent. You live in different realities. You do and you don't, because I've met people in their early 20s that are definitely way more mature than people in their 30s. I've actually recently, some of the worst experiences I've had with people are people in their 30s who should know better, who should quote unquote know better, right? It just matters what kind of life experiences you have, you know? It really does.
And I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that, right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is?
I was fine about the other woman, but then I found out about this other woman, and that was where I really had to draw the line. Well, okay.
Because not only were you... Because, sure, you didn't lead Alfie on. Alfie acknowledges that you didn't lead her on, right? Because I've talked to Alfie. I'm friends with her. I've been friends with her before I even met you.
Okay.
Like, she acknowledges that you didn't lead her on. You led me on, though. You did lead me on, though.
To be clear, if we're reading those messages and given the fact that the Google Docu came out, Alfie did say she was like led on, and you said you were led on. So, like, what changed?
Yeah.
You gave me all these fancy-ass promises about, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you come visit here. What, so you could cheat on your girlfriend again? So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
That wasn't...
What were you intending with that?
Well, I thought it was going to, be over.
But what?
Like, I thought that was gonna be the end of that.
The end of what?
My previous relationship.
You were gonna break up with...
Brother was looking for an exit ramp. He was looking for an exit ramp, dude. Oh my god, my camera turned off. I know how to fix this. Hold on. Dude, we got the color bars stream, bro. Dude, dude, fucking life, dude. This is crazy. The voodoo doll? No, this is just a byproduct of all my equipment being old, chat. Okay. Stuff just dies after a long time. And take that. Okay, I just need it to... Can't believe he put a pride flag on stream. Woke nonsense. Dude, the big woke came for Diesel. Just give it a little bit. My camera needs to cool down. See, this is why I can't use this one as a webcam, because it overheats really easily. You know?
You could date me or what?
It'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Well, like I said,
It
it's
just
been a
needs to
long
cool
time where,
down.
like, we hadn't spent time together. Hadn't done anything in years.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I thought that was at some point be over.
What? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, so they weren't doing anything for years, so he was just like figuring at some point it would end. Okay. Yeah, I have 2 tiny fans. I have a tiny fan that's like blowing on it right now. But yeah, this is a fucking the Sony camera I'm using has had an overheating issue for a long time. I forget what model it is, but it always has. So yeah, ultimately this is just one of those points where I'm like, all right, I think it's about time I need to reinvest in some stuff, but I actually am making like $0.00, and I'm being hemorrhaged by my student loans, so I can't.
I said, I thought that meant that was going to be like the end of it.
So you were already moving on before you even broke up with her.
Okay, not to be that guy, but I understand the inner machinations of the woman's mind, and it was actually an experience like this recently in my life that I can point to, right? So there's somebody I know that was like, I'm on a break with my partner, and they had asked another woman for their take on it, and the way that it was being explained is like, you know, this partner wanted a break, but didn't want to like hurt the guy's feelings. And the entire conversation where they took the break was like, you didn't do anything wrong, and you're not like a bad guy. You've done nothing to hurt me. But I'm mad that you're not mad that I want to take a break. And the guy was like, like, you need to work out your stuff. If it's okay that you need to take a break, I'll be here. And we'll reconvene on Saturday if this is really what you want to do. And she's like, but I don't want a break. And he was like, okay, if you don't want a break, we don't need to take a break. And she's like, but I think I want a break. And basically the back and forth was, you're a really good guy, but like, that's really hard for me to reconcile because I haven't figured out my baggage. Anyway, can we take a break for a week? Anyway, this person explains it to another woman who's older, and this older woman says, well, you know, she's probably already figured out that she doesn't want to be in a relationship, but she's kind of like doesn't want to be the bad guy in the situation, so she's waiting for you to pull the trigger on it and like pull the plug on a relationship. You know, she's kind of already worked it through in her head, and she probably worked it over, you know, a long time ago. She probably came to that conclusion a long time ago. And you know what? That's something that I've realized. Right? Is that in the relationships and romantic like entanglements I've had in my life, when I look back, right, usually if I'm the one getting broken up with, there are like signs post hoc that they were already trying to like figure out like, oh, I wanted So they both stalling? No, the guy in this equation was like, he didn't really think that anything was a problem until it was magically brought up. And I gotta admit, knowing the guy was doing nothing wrong, 100%, because I knew the couple. And the guy was definitely, he was putting in a lot more emotional effort on it. It was something that the girl had kept because she had a prior relationship and it was really toxic. And so she was having a really hard time moving on because this relationship wasn't toxic and it was really hard for her to work with because she wasn't used to that, you know, and that's fine. Some people are in different spaces, so they struggle with stuff like that. But, you know, when I think about past like romantic entanglements I've had, the girl and I had an ex. I've talked about this one, right? She was the rugby player. I've talked about this on stream. And the rugby player was like Diesel. She didn't say Diesel though, right? Diesel, do you have a problem with gay people? And I was like, no, right? And I was like, what? I always thought that was weird because we were laying in bed together and she said that to me. And I was like, no, why would I? Why would I? And I just kind of like thought that was like asking my opinion, but you were like asking my opinion at 2 a.m. Right? And then a month later, or like a little bit after that, I went to a sorority party, which was weird as hell. That was super fucking weird because I was the only guy in the room. It was just like girls getting drunk and drinking Fireball. And she was a big sister in the sorority, and her little was puking because she couldn't hold her liquor, right? And then I had to take my ex home because she was crying, and she was really upset that this was happening to her little. Anyway, long and short of it was, she kept bringing these things up to me because she was secretly hooking up with her little. Okay. She was hooking up with her little.
Problem with gay people? Look at my stream, I get gay AF when my camera dies.
Yeah, apparently. She was crying, some girl threw up. No, that girl was her girlfriend. That girl was her secret girlfriend. But I should have been able to pick up on it. But she had already decided to break up with me. Right? Like a month before she broke up with me.
Metal Man 87 celebrates 11 months of membership. Morning Diesel. Hope you are on the mend.
I am, but my camera isn't apparently. Yeah, so she was hooking up with her little the entire time. Anyway, a little in college terms. So in a sorority, fraternities as well, the upperclassmen take on and sponsor underclassmen to bring them into the like sorority or fraternity. So she was sponsoring that student, and then they were also fucking. So, but yeah, so basically the long and short of it is that she had already decided to break up with me. She just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna like flip the fuck out at her when it happened, right? So she was kind of like testing the waters to see like what my personal beliefs were, to see how fucking mad I would get, I guess, right? But you know, it is what it is. I'm not even, it is what it is. I've never had sex with my littles. I should say that this was like a college that's like they were big on like science. So everybody was like a giga nerd. I'd be mad. I was mad when it happened, of course. And then I got over it in like a week, you know. She used her power dynamic. That's crazy. Yeah, she was testing the waters to see if she could be in the room when it happens. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But the point of that is that like people don't just magically flip a switch and break off a relationship. People people think about it for a long time and deliberate upon it and then make a decision, you know. And there's definitely many men and women who already start playing the field before they pull the trigger because they don't want to be alone with themselves. So they look for a rebound. That's what it is. They're looking for a rebound. All right. Calling them littles is so weird because that's what DDLG people call their subs. I think someone should warn them. It's fine, guys. It's fine. I think sororities and fraternities have other things to work out before that.
Were you intending to break up with her, or were you just waiting for her to break up with you?
No, I don't know. It's
So
just a really weird
I just
mix of like.
So this by the way, this all exists downstream of something I've said on stream before, where you need to like work out like I say this a lot, right? I think a healthy relationship exists downstream of being able to talk about your sexual needs in an open and frank way. If you struggle to have those kind of conversations with your partner, you're going to struggle to have many kinds of conversations with your partner. And being able to be open about what you want sexually out of a relationship is like pretty high on the list of things you need, because that's a way that like couples can like, you know, kind of reinforce their care and love and emotions for each other, right? There's something to be said about holding somebody like naked after sex that kind of brings you closer to them. All right, I don't know the fucking biochemistry of it, but there's something there about physical touch. All right, so if you don't figure that out, you're not gonna be able to have other conversations about other things. All right, I think people just value sex too much. Sex is important in a relationship. It just is. It's just important in a relationship.
I just want to understand this. So what was your intention with me? Like where was I in this whole thing? Like, were you intending to date me after her? Like, were you intending to just ditch to go date me?
I mean, I guess for me, it felt like it was already. No.
But that's not what I asked. I'm talking about me.
Yeah, it's not even like valuing sex, right? I say sex because it's like the one that people, at least in America, get hung up with like a lot, right? That's the one that they get hung up with in relationships a lot, because people aren't able to have that conversation, right? But ultimately, it's like, do you guys hold each other? Do you guys have these kind of like, you know, intimate conversations? Are you okay having those intimate conversations? Are you working that out, right? And for a lot of people, that's like an important component of a relationship, right? So if you don't have that conversation, you're probably not like discussing what your true feelings are, or having discussions about what you want out of the future. Do you want kids or not? Do you want to get married or not? If I'm talking about like hetero relationships here, but yeah, I guess non-hetero ones too, of course. But yeah, for all of these things, you know, a lot of that compatibility exists in those things. You know, you need like when you need, sometimes you really do need to find someone to match your freak, because if you're planning on spending the rest of your life with them, you need to be able to not get bored. You need to be able to talk to each other forever. You need to be able to talk about what you want out of each other together in a way that's not going to offend the other person. Like, there's so many of those things that need to have that conversation, and he just wasn't like doing that at all.
I mean, yeah, that's.
Which is why I think Sykkuno actually isn't that experienced, right? At least in like the physical intimacy department. Because like, it's one thing to hook up with someone, it's another thing to talk about like intimacy with somebody who's your partner. Yeah, you talk about the pit with them.
You were thinking to just ditch her and then date me. What, were you gonna do the same thing to me? I'm sorry, but like, you're not really selling this whole relationship thing really well. If this is type of relationship,
this poor girl, she's like, "What do you mean? You're not really selling me on you right now." Okay, first of all, he's not even for sale, girl. Like, come on, let's have some self-confidence.
It's fine. I'm not trying to sell it.
I can tell.
Just trying to explain what's going on.
Yeah. The thing is, if I never reached out to Bao, because I didn't even reach out to Bao about you, right? I reached out to Bao about because is lied behind my back to a bunch of people, and I was not okay with that. And then started lying about Bao. That's when I reached out to Bao. I became friends with her roommate, and then I was talking with a little bit back and forth, and then you came up in the topic.
Yeah, sex is important, but I feel like if your partner is going through a dry streak and never wants to do it, then something else is the issue that needs to be addressed. Well, yeah, sex is like, the reason I say it's important, right, is because it's a really good barometer for like what is going on in a relationship, right? Like if you guys aren't, then there's probably some like emotional like discompatibility in the relationship that needs to be worked out, or there's like some other thing that's happening in that person's life that isn't being addressed, which is where you need to sit down and have the conversation and be like, look, we don't touch each other anymore. We never hold hands anymore. We never kiss anymore. What's up? Are you okay? Like, what's going on?
And then she told me you had a girlfriend. And that your girlfriend has been venting to Bao this entire time. About how you gaslight her into staying. You make her feel bad anytime that she, like, wanted to leave because you cheated on her. And she knew that you cheated on her.
I think Bao is a bit of a pot stirrer, okay? Bao has been in too many of these VTuber dramas to not be a little Lord Varys, okay? I cannot even trust a lot of these things if Bao is the intermediary on any of this.
Didn't know who. Because you never told her
who
that
is
was
Bao? She's a pretty big fucking VTuber. Her whole thing is that she's a whale. Okay? That's her thing.
Elfie, you just told her that you cheated on her in Paris. I think. I don't know if you told her, but I knew she knew.
Dude, Sykkuno in Paris? Who's in Paris?
Yeah, I did tell.
Why? Why go through all this trouble?
Because didn't know how to
I mean, for God's sake, if the only thing why you even stayed with her is because she relied on me for a lot of things, you can afford to take care of her for a little bit before she gets back onto her feet. Like, at least don't put her through the trouble of like telling her like, oh, like I'm still gonna be with you, like telling her that you're still her boyfriend while actively cheating on her every single day.
See, the way Mal makes this sound is that the girlfriend at least had like some inclination that she was aware that Sykkuno was being infidelitous for like a much longer time. The response definitely doesn't paint that to be the case. So we'll look at that after this, but you know, I don't know. Maybe I would argue there are signs, but I would argue that I'm at least I'm not neurotypical, but like I got like the ability, like you could like sense these things.
I mean, you're right. I should have just said how I felt.
Like, you could have just deadass, if the only thing that you were concerned about is the fact that she relied on you for things, you could have just supported her until she got back onto her feet. So she could support herself.
She makes it sound so, I'm sorry, but this girl makes it sound so easy. I would love to put her in a position where she has to depend on... She makes that sound so easy.
You know?
And it wasn't just that.
Then what else?
Somehow hoping it would go back to how it used to be.
Well, I also already told you.
That's why you gotta have a conversation with your partner, my brother in Christ. You need to be able to have these kind of conversations.
Your cheating is not going to make it.
Yeah, if he was loquacious and hydrated, he would have just done it. So true.
To how it used to be.
It's a lot easier to say that one.
It's the truth.
Yeah, also, Mal didn't bother asking his GF to release all this, so her concern here rings a little cheap. Yes.
It's the harsh truth.
Is there any way to make this guy louder? I can genuinely not hear him. I have already boosted the audio. On top of Muujin boosting the audio.
go back the same way that it was if you're going to cheat on someone actively.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm going to change.
You're going to change what?
Guys, I'm going to change. After being unfaithful for my partner for many years, I have decided to be faithful. Ah, God. Well.
Everything.
What do you mean that's it?
Just gonna change that.
You're going to stay with her?
Right.
Because honestly, God, I feel like the poor girl's been through enough. I don't think you should have to sit there and keep doing this to her.
Dude, okay, Mal. Okay. All right. Girl, I know you got a horse in the race, girl. That's a little crazy. Oh, you cheated on her, but you're staying with her? What would you do if you broke up with her? Would you get with me? Oh, come on. Why are you testing the waters still? Why are you testing the waters?
Because I was in a group chat with her while you were on stream. And this girl's absolutely f***ing distraught because of the shit that you've done to her. The shit that you've put her through. Like, genuinely. Do you know how much that fucks someone up?
Well, you kind of did go behind a girlfriend's back and publish this, so...
Like, you already cheated on her once, and she decided to trust you still. She decided to stay with you, despite the fact that you already had cheated on her and admitted to it. And what do? You go onto Twitter and go find the next girl to flirt with. Like, if anything, honest to God, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just disappointed.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Really disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yep,
I'm also mad.
Because she's been crying to Bao about it. Bao's been sitting there, like, comforting this girl, trying to tell her, hey, maybe you should leave him. Because this isn't okay. This really isn't okay.
Bao's been inserting herself into this and then saying that she should break up with you. Okay, well.
Putting this girl through mental strain. Every single day. That you continue to be with her. While you're sitting there having fun playing with your friends. Be so honest right now, Thomas.
Dude, she used his official real name.
So you think, you might be right.
Yeah. Like, if it is money that she doesn't have, or if it's a job, or if it's family, or blah 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 blah.
Gave her a lot.
Yeah, well, there, exactly. Just help her back on her feet until she can support herself, and then just leave the girl alone.
That's crazy. Oh my God. This guy is throwing out. This guy, is this what you have? Dude, when you're rich, one of three things happens. Okay, you're a rich YouTuber. You either become rapper, pedophile, fucking sugar daddy. Pick your way, Western man, okay? You've already started the podcast. It's time to have a mediocre music career, commit a felony, or pay for a bunch of mentally ill women's lifestyles.
She deserves better than that. Because you cannot sit there and be like, I love her.
Because I think she's Australian or like a New Zealander or something. She's, I don't know, one of those.
But do all of this shit to her and continue to let her stay in that situation.
Fourth option, politician. Yeah, that's a new track. I didn't even know we would unlock that. That's honestly kind of crazy.
Well, one part of that wasn't true.
What?
I think the feelings faded.
Well, then you should just let her go. Instead of just sitting her there, wasting her time.
Okay, well. Anyway.
And also, why'd you get on a call with me when right now she's upset? I know she
What do you mean? You were like, let's have a call, let's talk about this. Interesting, very ominous, Sykkuno. Oh, why are you on a call with me when you should be on a call with her? You messaged me.
with you.
I already talked to her.
Yeah, you should be
And I
there to.
told her I'm going to talk
You
to
should
her.
talk to her more and end the relationship.
You should be there to comfort
I'll
her.
take all
She's-
3 options. I want to speedrun my career to the grave.
That's bold of you. Bold, really, you know?
She's the one that you cheated on.
No, I'm going to be doing that. I just wanted to settle this first.
This is not settled. I'm beyond upset. with
Diesel, why do you seem like you're out of breath and you had to put your clothes back on quickly? Diesel bingo. What do you mean? Nazi Diesel. Now do the Trump voice. Okay.
with you. Like, genuinely beyond upset with you.
I mean, that's fine. By settled, I mean, like, that's it. Like,
What's it?
probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
Did you hear that? This girl is on edge. Wow. Well, we'll probably never talk again. The craziest laugh you've ever heard.
What? Why?
What do you mean, why? You're the side chick. What do you mean, why? You gotta take it for a ride.
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm
Why?
so
Why wouldn't you be not talk to? Of course. Oh, you think his girlfriend that he's saying he's staying with is gonna be okay with you still talking to him?
upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You
Yeah,
can still-
but you were the side woman. What do you mean? Why should he keep talking to you if he's gonna say that he's staying with her?
talk to me and be like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for a second chance.
Keep talking to me and make up for your okay. This guy must have some absolute insane fucking riz that I can't understand.
But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's
Dude, there's some generational game here. Okay, as evil as Sykkuno has been with this cheating, and it is bad, I don't know what power. Okay, actually, no, hold on. Let me take that back a second. It is actually crazy. Guys, you don't understand how many, like, hot neats there are, okay? There are so many, antisocial VTubers that are, like, crazy attractive that have zero game. It's outrageous. All right. I honestly think if you're like a mildly attractive guy, double points if you're Asian, like you're like a fucking bull in a china shop, and they're the plates, brother. All right.
all.
Hold on. Wait a second. What was that? I messaged Elfie and she saw the same thing as a blah blah blah. No car pass, nothing, just simply happened. What the fuck, so scary? Who are you saying to in these end? Oh, my friend lol. Chat, Sykkuno has a girlfriend. He's been cheating on her with both me and Elfie. They've been dating since 2021. Bao told me and added me to a GC with her. What the fuck, scandalous? What the fuck? What do you mean, bro? I'm still shocked. My eyes are gonna roll out of my head.
There are a lot of girls that are upset with you, by the way.
Dude, I saw somebody be like, guys, the BPD slut server is compromised on Discord. It's just dudes trying to catfish other dudes now. Anyway, I've started ADHD autistic slut server. Please join.
Because
Dude, are we sure Bao isn't casting spells? I'm beginning to think she might.
I'm the only one that has hit me up.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Hot Rich Asian Uwu Small Bean Boy is kind of a classic. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest, those of you that are interested in the Ghost Call of Duty Bara Yowie body are really attracted to me. So I know exactly what game I need to play. Wait, no, that made it sound like I need to have gay sex. You know what I mean?
You've heard things.
Yeah, and you lied to me a lot about that too. A lot. Because, how big was the roster again?
What did you just say, Diesel? It's crazy. It is definitely like the people who like Call of Duty, Bara Yaoi, that like me, 100%. I got the build for it. I know.
I don't think I ever had one of those.
I'm really scared to ask, but what is Bara? Are you serious? I can't. Okay. So like, you know when two men kiss, what if the men were buff and hairy? That's Bara.
Maybe not at the same time, but you sure do hop around.
What is COD Bara Yaoi? Apparently Call of Duty has a huge Yaoi community.
So.
Yeah. All I care about right now is that it's okay.
No, you don't.
Keep me updated on that.
What do you mean? Why do you need to be kept updated on it?
I don't know if that's a possibility.
You can keep me updated on how she's doing.
No! It's not your place.
Keep me updated on when she moves out, because I don't think she should be living with
What do you mean? What do you mean you need to know when she moves out so you can move in?
More.
It's not your place. It's not your place.
I don't think you need me to do that.
I mean,
no,
yeah,
yes, he's 100% right. You don't need to do that. That's weird.
I care about her.
No, you don't. You just met her.
Like,
yeah, she can do that.
Yes, yes, she can do that on her own.
I'll just reach out to her then. But, yeah, no, just... Like... Go talk to her. She needs you right now.
Whoa! I kind of think him having to deal with a 20-year-old is perfect punishment. Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely. It is definitely very funny to see him try and like be like, no. And she's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You don't understand? I again, like I said, when I went like looking at this for the first time and I saw her Twitter account, I was in VC with KJ and Ash and I screamed because when I clicked on her profile, like everything that everybody had said about this girl, I had no idea she was posting so much hole. And then I click on her profile. I'm like, whoa, she's naked. So I don't know, man. I just assumed it was more like this goes to tell you something. Just because people post hole on the internet does not mean that they get action in real life. And I thought there was a correlation between the two. I thought people who are comfortable posting hole on the internet get a lot of play. But it turns out that's not the case and nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, okay. Oh, bye.
Bye, Thomas.
Shortly after the call.
Okay. She's posting so much hole just entered my vocabulary. Diesel, I post hole and don't get action. I don't know that. I don't know that. That's life. I don't know that. Yeah, no, I'd say she a gold digger. Yeah. Shout out Kanye. But not really. Okay. So that was not great. The response to this has been quite interesting because basically yeah, we'll go over some of the responses from people. Let's see. Oh, here's the girl he nutted in. Let's look at the girl he nutted in post. She describes him nutting inside her as unconsensual, but though she also explains that verbal consent was given. Okay. So let's listen to that now.
People Las Vegas alone. But I wasn't alone. I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno. But I didn't know that he had other
Did she catch something from him, by the way? I'm still confused about that. I don't believe so, no.
intentions. And I didn't ask him to share a room with me. I just simply asked him, "Hey, are you going to Evil Las Vegas?" He said yes. And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like I know he lives in Las Vegas." And he said, "Oh, you're planning on coming? I actually have room. If you just want to like room with me." And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, "No, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel and all this." Like, I was insistent on being like, "Oh no, it's fine." And then he said, no, like I have extra room. I already paid for it. And I even asked him, I'm like, "Are you rooming with a group or with friends?" And he said, "No, but there's 2 beds, so like you'll get your own bed." You know, like yeah.
Okay. This is being labeled as coercion. So when I have traveled for trips, let's say with like Quite or something, the conversation has gone like this. "Oh, are you going?" Yeah, I'm going. I have a room. Do you want a room with me? And I'm like, "Oh, no. I couldn't intrude. I wouldn't want to, be doing this to you. I can pay for myself." And then Quite will be like, no. Save some money. I got you. And I'll be like, "Oh, okay." It's just polite to go like, no, and then take it anyway. "Oh, I couldn't take this beautiful cake you've handed me. Oh no, I can't possibly."
So I took his offer. Being a dumbass, I took his offer. But I did later. I even offered to pay him back. I said, "How much should I save up for accommodations?" And he said, "Oh, no. No. You don't have to pay me back. Like, I already have room for the hotel. You don't have to pay me back."
This guy's like, "Can I pay for the hotel for you?" And she's like, "I'd like to pay you back a little bit." He's like, no, I'm rich.
So, yeah, I shared a room with Sykkuno at Evil Las Vegas. And we had plans to watch a movie together. We had plans to watch a horror movie together, Until Dawn. That movie's ass. Actually, I didn't even get to finish it, but that movie's ass. He has a hotel even though he lives in Vegas. Yes. We were watching the movie, and he started to get very angsty or something. I don't know how to explain it, but
we agreed to watch a movie together, and it was the horror movie.
He pretty much tried to make a move on me, and I was fully...
I'm sorry, you guys agreed to watch a horror movie together, and you didn't... You guys agreed to watch a horror movie in a hotel room together. What did you think that implied? I'm sorry. This is a lot like that other what I forget what there was another drama where somebody was like, "Do you want to come back to my hotel room at a convention?" Oh, was that like the Saber Spark stuff, right? Where the girl where Saber basically was like, "Do you want to?" Where Saber was like, "Do you want to come back to my hotel room with me?" And everybody understands what that means. Is like, do you want to come back and have sex? Right? When a woman invites me to her house and she's like, "Do you want to come back to my place?" And I say yes, that means we're going to have sex.
Trying to say like I'm just here to watch the movie. Like I'm just here to watch the movie. Me being a dumbass and not being very like, what's the word, very strong in like mentally, not physically. I mean like like maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but and maybe I don't know, benefit of the doubt, or because I still thought he was cute, or I don't know.
You thought he was cute? Oh, okay. All right.
He tried to make a move on me, resolute, I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes. Wow, I don't want to share that. I don't like sharing this on. This is like so personal. Like I don't talk about my intimate life at all. But I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating. And it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen. So instead, I just gave him oral. Okay? And then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana and I was just staring out the window. I was dissociating. I think I was sort of just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened?
When she says it took him like 30 minutes to make a move on me, it sounds like she was expecting it, so WTF is the rest of this lol, just say no.
I mean, obviously, I guess like the counterpoint to that is just like there was a power imbalance and he had all the power because he had the hotel room and could kick her out. So I guess that's the alternative that you could give in this. Is that a mini microphone? Yeah, I hate it when YouTubers do that. The community note on this is very funny. The woman in this video describes giving verbal consent, yeah and yes, to the sexual acts and only expresses regret later upon learning he had a girlfriend.
And then in the morning, I barely slept that night. Then in the morning, he didn't really want to talk about it. And I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened. And then we were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. But he ends up hugging me. But then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. And we end up having sex. And I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop, so I just let it happen. And while this was happening, while we were doing it, I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with, so I'm not used to one-night stands or anything like that. But we were not using protection, and I'm legally hard of hearing, if you guys...
I'm legally hard of hearing.
don't know already.
I'm sorry.
In the
Okay.
moment, he asked me if it was safe, and I didn't hear him, but I just said, mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she says, ended up having sex, not he assaulted me. Yeah. Yeah, I think COVID really did play a number on Gen Z, 100%. 100%. I think it played a number on everybody, not even just Gen Z. I think people are still trying to, like, work out their shit from that, you know? It was the pots, Diesel.
And he finished
It was the pots.
inside of me, and then that was it. And then,
Dude, finishing, coming, cream pieing her is crazy work, I'm not gonna lie. This guy was playing something dangerous. There's no universe where that's appropriate at all in the slightest. That is, if I'm raw dogging it, there needs to be a conversation beforehand, okay? We need to, like, know what the game plan is, okay? You need to, like, that is not happening. That's not happening.
we just laid there for a little bit, and then I brought it up. I asked him straight up, when was your last relationship, and do you sleep around often? Like, is this normal for you? Because I told him straight up, I do not date with people. I do not sleep with people I do not date.
Gotta be honest, probably a conversation you should have had before you hooked up, but
I do not sleep with people that I do not date. That is just a moral of mine.
again, this is like the age gap chick who compromised their own red line, but yeah, one night stand cream pie is a crazy work.
If you know that you have a problem with saying no and know that you are gonna have regrets after, then you should avoid the situations completely.
Yeah, but he was hot. He was cute. He was cute, okay?
I
Dude, I do not get... Listen, there's some racially charged undertones about finding Asian men really cute from the female community, okay? And I think we really need to address the big K-pop Korean shaped elephant in the room, but I don't think we're ready for that conversation yet. But I would be lying if I said I do think that played a role.
find it very intimate with whoever. So, and I don't actually have I've only ever slept with 3 people. Well, 4 now. But I've only been in 3 relationships. So it was very new to me. I've never had a one-night stand or anything like that. So I asked him, I'm like, is this normal for you? Like, do you sleep around a lot? And he said, no, he was being around the bush the whole time that I was asking these questions, by the way. I'm like, then why did you sleep with me? And he said, oh, it just, giving me really half-ass answers, like, oh, it just, I've known you for a while and I know you're very sweet and, you look nice. And then I asked him this question and I said, when was your last relationship? And he said 3 years ago. So in my head, it's crazy that's why I feel so blindsided and backstabbed, because I asked these questions and they ended up being complete lies. So when I really felt blindsided and backstabbed by all the information that was coming out, I really was, because I asked those 2 questions, like if he was in a relationship or like when his last relationship was and if he sleeps around, and he told me no and 3 years ago. And after that,
yeah, this is one thing I really have an issue with. Him having unprotected sex and not being open about sleeping around does put this woman and others at high risk. 100%. Absolutely. You should not be having unprotected sex if you're there's just no reason for him to be doing that. That's diabolically fucked. Okay? No universe would that ever happen.
I went on about my date, and then I ended up running into someone I'm very close with, and they offered me to stay in their hotel room because I didn't feel comfortable sleeping in mine. So I ended up sleeping at my friend's hotel room for the next 2 nights. And you guys can even see on Twitter, if you guys look at my Evo outfits, the first outfit is in a very different hotel room than the other 2, and that's because I ended up moving to another hotel.
Dude, the weed tapestry in her background, dude. The weed tapestry and the Tupac poster, brother. Bro. I know what you are. It's okay. You can say it when you're singing in your car. Nobody's gonna hear you.
The first one is in the one that I'm with Sykkuno. And I ended up sleeping in the hotel that me and Sykkuno had on the last night because he ended up checking out early and sleeping at his house. So that was the only time I saw him. We ran into each other a couple of more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't really want to talk about what happened. And then I struggled with this for a while, and I had someone in my life be there for me and kind of try to help me through this. And my dumbass tried talking about it with Sykkuno later, trying to like understand what happened, because it's not something I'm used to.
Dude, young people really struggle with casual sex, dude. Holy shit. God damn.
And he pretty much beat around the bush the whole time. And then he would say things like, "Oh, I'm confused. I just wanted to know what you felt about that." And I said, "No, I want to know what you felt about this, because I already told you how I felt." And yeah, he said he was sorry that he made me. He was sorry that he gave me that impression, and that he would want to reconcile. And me being the dumbass I am, I still wanted to be friends with him.
Oh, guys, you can have casual sex and just be friends with people. It's possible.
For some reason. So I did. and that's why we still played games. And then I ended up seeing him at TwitchCon at the Riot Party, and we actually talked in person for the first time since. And he actually brought that part up and said
Yeah, I saw.
Like,
I'm gonna read him after
he was
this.
sorry and stuff, and that he was sorry for giving me the impression. So I really thought he was, you know, honestly sorry, and I accepted it. And I thought I was the only one.
What? What? He one night stands you, and then you thought you were the only one, brother?
Because I literally straight up asked him if he sleeps around, and he said no. So
If you have a casual sexual encounter with a man, and your takeaway from that, when asked the man, do you sleep around? And his response is no, he's lying. That's a lie.
sorry, I thought I was only.
That's rude if he did do that, 100%. But also, people lie, guys. I don't.
One. Did I think we were gonna be in a relationship? No. I knew how much older he was than me, and I was like, why would he want to be in a relationship with someone much younger? So I didn't really think that, it was.
Dude, the relationship, the age gaps in their parents' relationships would fucking kill them if they were around today. Okay, the groupies of the 70s would fucking explode from how easy it would have been to navigate this situation. Yeah.
It was gonna go anywhere. So yeah, I just said I think
She's one of the age gap girls. He was sleeping with women in their early 20s. Okay, all of the women were in their early 20s, and he was like mid 30s.
like we'll just reconcile as friends, and that's that. And then
Okay, so that's funny. Yeesh. Okay, so Twitch streamer Leah's former roommate friend Tempo speaks on her ex-boyfriend breaking up with her, who was financially supporting her while she wasn't working and just staying in bed most days. This is what I'm telling you guys. There's a BPD girl failure NEET who wants to be taken care of, and you need to go out there and claim that girl failure. Okay. Now I'm watching a very similar situation unfold. All right. Not surprised this is happening again. I lived together with Leia, her sister, and a few other creators back in 2024. At some point, her ex, who was a bigger creator, broke up with her. Her ex was financially supporting her. Everything was paid for. She wasn't streaming, wasn't working, just staying in bed most days. After their breakup, she came to me for help and advice. I spent hours talking to her, losing sleep to try and support her, telling her to focus on herself, build up her own stability, love herself first. Not center her life around an ex. I wanted her to help someone who I thought was a friend. She didn't take any of the advice. Instead, she actively did the opposite, putting all of her energy into trying to get him back by any means necessary. She spent more money on a makeover and would even dress up in a certain way when we went to the gym together. She was desperate. When it didn't work, instead of taking accountability for her own choices, all the blame got pushed onto me by the end of our lease somehow. The person who was trying to help them, both her and her sister turned it into something it wasn't, and would even start spreading false rumors about everyone involved in their messy breakup that year. This would bleed into 2025. Now I'm watching a very similar situation unfold again, and once again it involves a bigger creator. Same pattern, same outcome, no accountability. At some point, actions have fucking consequences. Dude, people really struggle to get over shit, dude. People really struggle. Dude, therapy is wonderful, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, boy. Okay. Well. So there's a little bit more, and then we'll get to Sykkuno's response. Sykkuno has addressed the allegations. All right. I'm sure we all really want to hear what Pokimane has to say about this. Girl wanted a free lunch and was mad there were other girls at the lunch table. Finding therapy is difficult and stressful. Yeah, but it makes a huge difference. Dude, it's crazy. Those relationships you have in your early 20s are gonna be what you unravel in your late 20s and then early 30s, huh? That's what you do, right?
We could just get it over with, okay? Stop making me laugh. Stop laughing, because when you guys laugh, I laugh.
Pokemon, can you get a bookshelf, please? Your office here is very well decorated. I will not lie. But could you please get a bookshelf? All those poor books in the left-hand corner.
Okay. It's okay.
The queen bee has spoken, chat.
We can just get it out of the way. All right? Of course, before streaming today, I expected a lot of people in the chat asking me to talk about the Sykkuno situation. Oh my gosh, I was thinking about it. I was like, how can I say something that feels honest to me but doesn't get clipped out of context? I was really stressing.
Did Pokemon get work done? Her face is like sharper than it used to be. Did she get work done? Maybe she just did that thing where they like tape it back. Have you guys seen that? The Korean thing where they tape it back? It's not a filter. It's not a filter. She wakes up and she does her makeup, guys.
About it, and then I realized, like, I'm stressing about it so much, and Sykkuno hasn't even said anything yet. And something about that, like, didn't really sit right with me.
It's been like days, girl. What?
But I do want to reiterate, it's just so sad and disappointing how often this kind of thing seems to happen. Especially when it comes from people that you don't expect it to come from. And I think what I really want to say is I am just so sorry for all the hurt that's been caused.
Dude, this girl is something else, dude. I'm sorry, dude. This girl is like... maybe it's just because I've been watching The Boys recently. But does she not feel like a character who would be on the 7? Like, I just feel like her entire personality is like she gets off camera and she's like, those fucking assholes. Fucking stupid simp idiots giving me my money.
To the victims, to our communities.
To the victims, this girl is something else. This girl is something else. She can say whatever she wants with all the compassion that she pretends to have in her heart.
Like, I feel everyone's hurt and shock and confusion, and I'm right there with ya. I really try so hard to make my channel a safe space for
Oh
everybody.
my god, dude. I'm sorry, I've never seen a more powerful pitch hitter. Dude, I've never seen a more powerful pitch hitter. Alright, I can't even be mad about it. I can't even be mad about it. The power level that Pokimane has is so fucking funny. I think if you were in a fight against Pokimane, like a drama, you lose. You lose 100%. This girl has something outrageous, okay? There's a demon. She made a pact with the devil himself, all right? She was at the crossroads. She beat him in a game, all right? And she got the power.
And
she's not the 7. She's a bot rep who gives canned responses when the company fucks up. She could explain away responsibility for a hero ripping a dude in half. That's so true.
really hope the people that do need to speak up will. And hopefully that's enough addressing.
What a great but awful response at the same time. You're so right about her being like a bot spokesperson. That is so fucking funny. Holy shit. Oh god. God. Why the ASMR voice? She's got the siren voice that mind controls people. I am telling you guys, she is not to be trifled with. I don't like her, make no mistake about that, but you'd be ridiculous for saying otherwise. So people were getting on Bao's case as well. And how many times is she going to be allowed to avoid accountability for the chaos and meshes she starts or involves the VTuber community in? She is a virus among the system, and people still keep supporting her. Why? How many examples do people need to see the kind of person she is? The good is, I do see some people finally distancing themselves from her. Will she ever change? I'm giving it a 20% chance right now. So people were mad at Bao for two reasons. Obviously, because she's like clearly a pot stirrer, and clearly has all these like awful opinions and takes, and it's being like kept hidden, right? Bao is totally like a Lord Varys. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep using different things that I'm watching or dramas to reference other things. Get more media literate, motherfucker. Okay, but Bao also put out a locked tweet that says, "You guys didn't copy my answers right. Last day to vote for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards." So she's a Crunchyroll partner, and a lot of people have been mad at her for taking that partnership because Crunchyroll is Crunchyroll for many reasons. They fired a lot of translators in favor of AI. Their translators before that, they considered less than capable compared to piracy translators. They've just been not an overall healthy company for the anime industry, right? I can't believe it. Bow my ovaries wail in drama. But yeah, so Bao has been getting shit for that and other. I think she also made a response. Let me go try and find that. Quick talk. 10-minute clip.
Hello. Can everyone hear me? Am I pretty clear right now? Good, okay. I'm just gonna go right into it. A few weeks ago, a girl approached me, and she asked if a tweet I made last year was about, we all know who, and she revealed to me that it was her boyfriend, if it was true that the tweet was about her boyfriend. I said yes, and I asked her if she would like to join a Discord call with me. And in that call, I told her what I
held on to this information about this for a year. Oh, well.
Heard from other girls. Girls often at various, events where I meet people, they share with me their negative experiences with him, and that he often tries to solicit sex from them. At this point, I felt that it wasn't right of me to speak on anyone's behalf. So instead of me going straight into the details that were...
So anyway, we all contacted Muujin after she started putting together the pieces, and then decided to go behind her back to publish it anyway.
Were shared in confidence with me. I got her in contact with girls who were affected by this person to share their experiences with her one-on-one. At that point, I just got them in contact with each other. And after our phone call, I don't know what was divulged between the conversations between her and the other girls. I
don't
was
believe
more so
that.
focused on her safety.
I don't believe that.
She shared with me that she was wanting to move out that week, and during that
time, that clearly didn't happen.
I tried my best to keep in contact.
Again, I just want to put into perspective that the response from Sykkuno directly contradicts many of the things that these women are saying about the girlfriend. So
with her and make sure she's safe, gave her as much help as possible to make the move as fast and smooth as possible. This is me, telling her pretty much everything that helped me a lot with my recent move. As you all know, I recently moved. That was, you know, it's a lot, especially in a short amount of time. And she shared with me that friends from out of state would be flying in to help her move. But at the last minute, she decided to talk to her boyfriend. She broke no contact. She wanted to stay, and I, you know, after, you know, helping her, doing what I could, I'm sure her friends also shared the same sentiment as me. You know, we all tried our best to help her out of a very difficult situation, but it was, you know, there was nothing anyone could really do. It was her decision, and I think the only thing I could do at that point was respect it, and left it at that.
Anyway, we didn't respect it, and we went to Muujin, and then Muujin made an exposed video on him. It just ends up ringing really hollow when they kind of like go behind the true victims back in this situation. You know, make no mistake, Sykkuno is ultimately like a villain in this story. He's not a good guy. I know he's gotten defense from me in this stream, but the defense is that he's not a giga rapist. Okay? He's like a cheating piece of shit. Right? But to like take away this woman's autonomy and to deliberately throw oil on this fire against her wishes is really shit, you know, for her. Imagine how you must feel if you're the girl in this situation, the girlfriend of Sykkuno. Now the entire internet is talking about how you were cheated on, and most of the people talking about it aren't even talking about how you're like the hurt party. On top of that, imagine how embarrassing it must be, especially if you didn't want it to be everybody's business.
But not long after, this is her deciding not to.
Hi, Bao. I'm sorry it's been a bit since I got back to you. I wanted to let you know what's going on, but I imagine it'll be confusing for you to hear. Essentially, before I left for blank, I decided to go see blank, and something was pushing me to see him before I left, so I decided to go. I don't think it's helpful for me to go into details, but basically I was shown some things that really made me doubt my decision on leaving. After talking with him for a long time and after seeing these things, I decided it wasn't the choice I wanted to make anymore, so I didn't end up leaving, which is her choice. We can argue whether or not that this choice is appropriate or not. In my opinion, I think she should leave anyway. But it is her choice. And for everybody to sit here and basically say, you stupid idiot, you should leave, is really easy for us to say. But we're not the people in the situation, so we need to realize that.
And, you know, I feel like I had did what I could to try and get her out of a very awful situation, but again, you still have to respect your friend's boundaries, and if that was her decision, that was her decision. So I left it as at that. But then, not long after, a VTuber would contact my mod for completely like unrelated thing, but coincidentally, while they were chatting, she mentioned going on a date with Sykkuno. And I was pretty alarmed because in her last message to me, she was shown things that made her doubt her decision on leaving. So, you know, it seemed that things were looking up for their relationship, but that didn't make sense because the VTuber showed me and my mod screenshots of him talking to her as early as 30 minutes ago at this point in time. And so I went back.
The internet has two modes, Uber Chud and Woman Infantilizer.
And told her,
which way,
hey,
Western man?
Do you know anything about this VTuber? She said no. And I told her
Yeah, she Bao is being almost comically vague with this, I think should be the way to put this.
I think you should.
I don't really
ask
understand
your
the
boyfriend to
timeline
see
that she's
DMs
putting
with
here.
her, and decide for yourself. You know, like, is he really being honest with you? And at that point, I'm still just doing what she's requested of me.
I think you should talk to her. She's already talked and called in DMs. Blank. I don't understand. Please tell her to add me. I just need screenshots of their conversation as possible. That's all I need. What the fuck, Bao? You're actually just inserting yourself into this now. What are you doing, dude? You know, like, oh, could I have screenshots of the conversation? Why? You're not a drama YouTuber. What are you doing with them? What are you doing with them, Bao? Girl, I think you're holding on to those things. Interesting. Well, I wonder what Mugen has gotten in the past from you. Makes you think.
You wanted to talk to the girl one-on-one. I put them in a group chat and I immediately left. I felt that this was much more than I bargained for. You know, I was already feeling like I was at my wit's end. I can't really...
I don't understand. People, is it just because I'm really used to conflict that people are like, I was at my wit's end. I had one difficult conversation. Meanwhile, I have weeks upon months of difficult conversations and I don't crack. Is it just because I'm used to it? Am I built for that? Am I built fucked up like that? That like, I'm like, this would not even faze me. You know?
I can't really force anyone to make the right decisions or do anything they don't want to do. And I felt that...
Well, you have a job.
I've done what I...
That's another thing, yeah. Nothing makes me more grounded than when I go outside.
I could, while respecting everyone's boundaries. And
the timeline has to be vague so her level of involvement can be ambiguous. Yeah, but she's connecting all the parties. She's like deliberately making the situation more difficult. Like she is like vague, but she's still giving off all this like I know everything and everybody involved. Yeah, no, like the thing is VTubers love talking shit. They're super catty, okay, but they never go public with it. They all keep it to themselves, and then all of a sudden it all boils over. All right, it's the same thing for like when there's like some corporate malfeasance in the VTuber world, they'll all cover their eyes, you know, or if there's like somebody who's being like criminal, they'll all cover it up until it reaches like a humongous boiling point.
It was the right thing to do. I, of course...
Because the expectation in that community is the idol culture, right? So, like, that's really... it's frowned upon to do what I'm doing.
Have known for a while, as well as a lot of other people, that this guy's kind of just... he's no good. And I felt that, you know, I already kind of had my taste of what I guess would happen if things went public. That's...
Yeah, she's not Vera, she's Littlefinger. That's true.
Again, like, everything that I did to this point was completely private, and I'm not really sure what else I can share or divulge to prove that I am, I guess, like a lot of people are making my role out to be a lot more than it actually was. I honestly just got these girls in contact with each other.
That is a humongous role to play when the entire thing that we're discussing here is some guy being infidelitous with his partner.
And I didn't have to, but I did because, well, it seemed like at this point, since so many girls were involved, they should at least be in contact with each other. And also, my biggest thing is, it's not really my place to speak on behalf of anyone.
It's not my place to speak on behalf of anyone, but anyway, I've gotten everybody together, and then Mugen also made a video on it. Interesting that.
I don't think nothing. I'm personally.
No,
not
this is a different woman.
I personally have never.
It's a different
been
woman.
In a situation with this guy, but these other girls have. You know, that's pretty much all I have to say. Sorry if things are a little jumbled. I don't want to
She unionized the VTubers.
mention any more names and add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I pulled a backroom op on arrival where my hands could easily be seen as clean. God, I can't
think
speak.
that emotions are really high because people are hurt and confused and
This is not Pokimane. This is Bao.
are looking for answers in the wrong
This is a different woman.
places. And I think it would do
They all sound like this. That's just what it is.
a lot of good if people hopped off online. And yeah, that's kind of it. I've been offline for the most part, and I hope you guys can follow suit. I highly recommend it. And
Woman whose job is to be online. You guys should touch grass. You guys should touch grass. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you guys should touch grass.
I just wanted to clear that up since my name is mentioned in the doc, but
Yeah, Bao is the reason why people are looking at this timeline because it's a fucking mess. Yeah, it's a different person. New contacts revealed by Bao. Before Mal... Oh, well, that's just all shit I've read. Okay. Yeah, it's riling up the mob. Alright. Dude, Sykkuno... This is just a funny clip. I'll read... the response is coming. Yeah, Bao has popped up in multiple VTuber dramas. It's almost as this woman thrives off the drama and causes it in the back end.
Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
First of all, where's his eyebrows? Second of all, that girl sounds like a minion.
Wait, you're actually so much braver than
Oh, is that Lily Pichu? Is that who that is?
I thought.
Only because you're here.
Only because you're here.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
That guy's response is so fucking funny. What? Only because you're here. Holy shit, this guy. Holy fuck, is that a fucking foul clip? Holy shit. Oh, I gotta read what Muujin had to say about this, by the way. Right? Because it makes him look like a stupid fucker. Holy shit. God. Lily is 90 pounds soaking wet. She's literally the only person who I believe has that voice. Holy shit. I think the Deco VA is clowning on him because people keep tagging him because Sykkuno keeps sounding like him in those Shy Boy clips. Yeah. So Muujin has been defending his video pretty hard, right? Here's him responding to XQC, his girlfriend. He could have simply dated his girlfriend and that he lived with and not lied to her over the course of 5 years while playing a dating simulator with every female content creator in existence. But sure, man, let's instead clip farm calling cheating based, real classy, right? If he can only date people that are as more famous than he is, then who could have he dated during his peak era? There was 0 creators that qualify for that. Please clarify. XQC, 2IQ. Yeah, so the real problem here is not like the cheating is the problem. The cheating is the real problem. The fake problem is him being a predator. Muujin has implied that he predated on those women. Those women had consensual sex with him. He was just a liar about his relationship. Can you criticize? I think this person is like, I think Muujin's mocking this person. Okay. Yeah, and here we go. Here's Mujin's response. This was prior. This came out prior to Sykkuno's response, right? Some members of my community have reached out regarding a few concerns, and I want to make sure I properly address them before we fully move on from this topic. Look, I'm flattered that Mal tweeted that she considers me a close friend. So, by the way, his source for this, and the woman who propagated the Google Doc that blew this all up, considers Mujin a close friend. And now Mujin is saying, I am grateful for her trust, but this is the first time we spoke on April 7th. So this narrative that the video was made as a favor to anyone is simply false. So now Mujin is saying, Mal is not my friend. I'm throwing her under the bus. That is what is happening here, okay? But we watched that video. Mujin almost sounds jealous of Sykkuno's Riz. I'm sorry, that's just what it sounds like, okay? The truth is, Sykkuno's serial cheating and manipulation, the manipulation is really, we're really casting a wide brush with the word manipulation here. He was a liar. Yeah, he lied to those women about his relationship status. Absolutely. But again, they hooked up with him consensually, right? Was the only tip of the iceberg. And I was hoping the video would encourage the many others who have stayed quiet for years to finally find the courage to talk about their experiences. If that is your intent with the video, you've already lost. Just so you know, that's not a good way to go about it, in my personal opinion. Unfortunately, with the current state of affairs, that doesn't seem like it'll happen anymore. Even if they were somehow to fit the image of the perfect victim. It's not even like look, you were taken for a ride, absolutely, but you were a victim of a guy lying to you and you sleeping with him consensually. Like, you had consensual sex with him. Okay? Like, again, when we imply that a YouTuber is predating and manipulating, we are not implying that he is lying about his relationship status. What you say when you are saying that is that he is a rapist or a pedophile, right? Because that is where these things go. Some people honestly think cheating is rape. I guess they can think that, but it's not. It's going to be an uphill battle. I don't blame them whatsoever. Instead, I can only wish them the best and hope that his ex, who was cheated on for over 5 years, can find peace that she deserves. As for me, I'll continue making videos that millions of people enjoy when prompted. Wow. Wow. You're an F-slur. That's crazy. I'll strive to do the right thing even when it's not trendy. Because that's how I was raised. That's simply who I am. Are you fucking for real? Holy shit, you're felted. You're fucking felted. That will never change, no matter how many vultures try to desperately farm my name. Holy shit. Dude, I love YouTuber apologies where they're like, I'm gonna keep being me. Thanks, audience. I love my audience. I've never been more right. I love my fans. I'll keep doing this. Yeah, so this ended up blowing up in Mujin's face very shortly after. Okay, because of Sykkuno's response. But we've got a red version of the response, courtesy of Deku's voice actor.
I would like to apologize to everyone I have disappointed. Most of all, to my girlfriend. I am so sorry. I put you through so much. I never...
Yeah, Mujin wrote the original Sykkuno Exposed doc. He's defo not just a VTuber they pass the story along to, yeah.
never want to make these mistakes again and hurt you and the people I care about. I was unfaithful, and I own and fully admit that. I lied to people and told them I was single, which I know is not right. I'm sorry to all of the people that I hurt by doing this. The following is not an attempt to minimize what I have done. However, I have seen some false accusations about me that are not true. I cannot allow false accusations and such extreme labels to be placed on me. I do understand that the people making these claims did
Yeah, it sounded like Mujin was hitting the "it should have been me" the whole time he was making that video. Absolutely.
Place of hurt. So please do not send any more hate to anyone. I just want the situation to get better. And I wish them the best. My girlfriend and I didn't respond quickly because we were already working on our relationship and communication before all this happened. Having so much private information exposed to the public has made it incredibly difficult for us to heal together. I will be taking a break from streaming and the internet to better myself and give us the time we need to try and improve our relationship. Thank you for reading, and I will continue to learn and grow from this experience. My girlfriend wanted to share her experience. Below is a message written by her.
So that was fucking great. Thank you, Deku, for speaking on this. We appreciate your work. Holy shit. So, let's read the official response. All right. I will say, I do think it is really ridiculous. I fucking hate how people have... So, we all develop, you know, trauma and baggage. And a good relationship helps us work through that. And also therapy and working on ourselves. So many people in this drama have allowed their own personal baggage to dictate how they feel other women should act. And that is really fucked up. And to be clear, I mainly see this from other women who are using this moment to dog on other women, which is really fucked. In particular, on Sykkuno's girlfriend. Obviously, the cheating is bad and wrong. And for many people, myself included, that is a relationship ender regardless, you know? But it's almost like insane how quick I have seen many other women in this drama rip Sykkuno's girlfriend apart for choosing the wrong answer or not being on the right side. And I like just go like the lack of empathy, because you know you've clearly been in that position too, is crazy. Like, you're mad at her because you have something you haven't worked out a while ago. You know, obviously, you know, if that is something that happened to you and that's like it fucked you up, you can feel upset about that. Absolutely. But it is not your place to put another woman down who's going through the same thing in the moment. Just because you are allowed the position of hindsight does not mean you're a mind reader. You don't understand all of the intricacies of their relationship. You don't understand all of the positions that they are in life. You don't understand anything. This is classic internalized misogyny. I mean, yeah, ultimately that's what it is, right? It's like, or even like it's just like, I guess in some part I don't get, because it almost seems a little ridiculous from my perspective to be like, oh, girl, you're staying with him? You should know better. It's like, well, you're not her, first of all. Like, why are you mad at her? You know, maybe they do work it out. Maybe they do truly love each other and care about each other and they work it out. Sure. That's totally possible. Maybe they don't and they separate. But to like not just say, oh, the autonomy you had in this was taken away from you. Well, you should be grateful for that. That's kind of like what I'm seeing. And it's just, it blows my mind that like the loudest speakers in this are women, other women content creators. where it's like you guys should be particularly conscious and aware of how difficult this in particular is, how difficult managing a creator relationship is. So it's just crazy because it's truly like I have something that I haven't worked out, but instead of working that out, I'm going to just be a mean person to you, which is what it is, you know? If people are going to throw that at the girlfriend, you also get to criticize the girls for having zero survival skills and not observing the red flags. Well, that's another thing. They'll say they didn't know any better. There's an age gap. And it's like, we really... You're like, I get that, like, she's 20, right? Mal is 20. So she's, like, entitled to be a little stupid. Absolutely. But... to say that she had no conscious decision making in this is ridiculous. Like, that kind of infantilizing is actually misogynistic. Like, actually, like, unironic. Like, that's what it is. You know? Like, at 20, I obviously was making wrong decisions about things that I wanted, right? But in the same breath, it's like, I also separated myself when I knew it was untenable, you know? But like, it's crazy, the infantilizing of the women. It's like, either these women can't consent because they are children or they are adults. We can't do it both ways, you know? So it's like, you need to just say, like I've put my foot in the sand and said, look, these are adult women. They consented to this. Even if there's an age gap, they're adults. If you're 20 and you feel that you're comfortable having sex with like a 40-year-old guy, sure. If you're 20 and you want to fuck another 20-year-old, sure. Right? You're adults. You can make those decisions. Anyway, let me read the response. And then Ricky responded. 1 second. Anyway, it just seems like, I don't know, by being like less than empathetic, the women who were the side women almost get more victimization creditness in every way. It's just crazy how unempathetic I've seen, again, from other women. People have been to the girlfriend.
This
It's
is where
crazy.
dialectics help. You can be a consenting adult who is also deeply hurt and betrayed.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand a girlfriend a bit since staying after being cheated on because I'm Mexican. In Mexican culture, it's expected for the women to forgive for financial reasons. That's shit, but yeah, I mean, like, it's everybody comes from a different spot, right? But that's the important part with it to understand. Here's from the girlfriend. Hi there. I wanted to start by saying thank you to those who have been checking on me and wishing me well during such a difficult time. It's been extremely heartbreaking to learn everything I know now, and going through this has been one of the hardest things I've ever been put through in my life. I've been tossed around from all sides. Me and my reality have been continuously shattered. Though, no matter how broken I am, I never wanted this to be public. It deeply hurts me that I wasn't given a choice in that, or even just warned that this would be happening at all. I didn't want this. To be clear, the women who were the side women in this said that they were in constant contact with her and were keeping her abreast of the situation. Bao, Mal, all parties, Mugen included, right? From this response, we know that every time they spoke out, saying that they were supportive and were in contact and keeping her abreast of the situation, was a lie. At every moment that those people exhibited sympathy, it was a lie. They lied. That's just what it is. Did they think she wouldn't speak up? She doesn't have an audience. She doesn't have an audience. She is a normal person. Because she doesn't have an audience and she's a normal person, they were in a much more advantageous position to say something without her ever being heard. Because that is just the reality of it. And they read that calculus and understood that calculus. Okay? So people will say like, oh, Mal's 20, Elfie's 23. They didn't know any better. Well, they didn't know any better, but they understood enough to know that they could go ahead with this and the girlfriend wouldn't have a platform to say her own piece. So are they really as infantile and like unaware as you'd first think? I don't know about that. Because they definitely read the tea leaves and went, well, if she breaks it off with Sykkuno, what kind of response is she going to have? They were betting that the relationship would fall apart and the girl would have no way to respond, which could have happened. Even after the fact, I wish they would have at least checked on me or asked me how I felt about everything. Remember, Mal said she was going to keep in contact with her. Clearly, that wasn't the case. But I haven't heard anything from the people involved since this all came out. Unsurprising. I understand that those involved with him have been hurt as well, but I don't believe my feelings were considered in this situation at all. Having my worst fears come to reality, then put on full display and used for profit by everyone else, is seen as absolutely mortifying. It seems like a true nightmare. It was already hard enough to work through things in private. This has just added another layer of difficulty and stress on top. It's made it so much harder for me to cope. Prior to all of this becoming, by the way, I've had stories in the past that I've covered on my main that I found out about information months in advance, months to years. There's many times where these individuals, like this girlfriend, want to go ahead with the story and then say, I don't want to. And you know what happened when that happened? I let the story sit. I let the story sit. I didn't rush to put out a video. I let the story sit for a year. In particular, I'm talking about social repose in this case, right? I knew that I couldn't take away their story, so I just chose not to put out the video. It's imperative that you get this person's consent to make a video like that. And if you don't, then you have to be aware that you are willfully ignoring that. And probably say it in the video. But Muujin lied, which is worse. That should bring into question all of his credibility. And the fact that he's not apologizing or making amends for it at all should absolutely question his credibility forever, right? You should be able to apologize and just apologize. If you can't do that as a drama creator, when you make a mistake, nobody should listen to you, period. You either apologize for a mistake and then move on, or just don't. And like, you got to be able to at least back it up with an argument. But Muujin's argument is that I have an audience that supports me. That's not an argument. That's insane. That's cope. Anyway. Yes, Muujin made this public when she said not to. Yes. Prior to all this becoming public, we were already making changes to improve our relationship. And while I could have chosen to leave, I ultimately made the decision to stay with the hopes of repairing our relationship together. Even though all the things I learned are incredibly disappointing and shocking, I don't think they are irredeemable. It's been hard handling things unfolding this way, but I believe it'll be a step in the right direction. With time, I hope everyone can focus on healing and making better versions of themselves. So, I mean, ultimately, like, you know, maybe this does change their relationship. Maybe this Sykkuno and his girlfriend are able to, like, talk more frankly about what they want from each other in a relationship, and they can rekindle some of that lost love. But the situation was inflamed by people who wanted their say. You know, look, I've had fallouts with people, obviously. Falgi in particular. To be clear, and as I said, I was never going to make it public. I can fall out with people and not turn it into drama. It's normal. I can have relationships with people, those relationships fall apart, and I move on without turning it into drama. And it does seem to me that when people turn it into drama, they have something to gain, right? When I talk about the concept of gilding the lily, Mal was mad at Sykkuno and wanted revenge. That is why she put that out. And it becomes very clear now, right? Because they went behind a girlfriend's back. But the content diesel, I don't even think it's for content or clout. I think it's for revenge, right? I don't think it's for fame. I think it's for retribution because they feel that they're owed that, and they feel that their personal emotional strife is equivalent to causing financial or economic damage to Sykkuno. You know? Honestly, mad weird Mugen slapped this shit out without permission when his Tectone statement was, I knew about Tectone being an abuser, but said nothing because allegedly Pinky said not to. Yeah. It's because he had a personal axe to grind, clearly. Okay? It's what makes Mugen... Look, there's a reason people keep saying Mugen sounds like he's like a giga cuck in this. Because he sounds like he's mad that his, like, corny flirting doesn't work, but Sykkuno's does. Because that's what it sounds like. Right? That's what it sounds like Mugen's entire personal feelings on this are. Impossible. You're a content creator. Trust me, the clout definitely played a role for Mugen in this, absolutely. But it has been such a hilarious fumble. You know? It is an awful fumble. And the worst people you know, Rev says Desu, Chibi reviews are like clapping their little fucking hands together, being like, ha ha ha, Mugen's felted. First of all, Chibi reviews, you're John Cuck. So what are you fucking talking about? Powder, yeah. That's another one. Oh my god. Yeah, this could have been a really easy story about how Mugen's or how Sykkuno's a cheater, but they needed to go the extra mile.
Bring Yugi, Sykkuno edition, take 10, action.
You're actually so much braver than I thought.
It's only because you're here.
Wait, you're actually so much...
Oh god. Oh my god. Mugen maybe felt it, but they like kids. Oh shit. So read what the Oreo had to say about this, shall we? Bro, Chibi isn't John Cuck, he's grandfather Cuck. Oh shit. A bunch of streamers saw a pathetic rich loser who couldn't talk to women and thought they could take him on as a profitable pet project. Then it turned out he was actually hiding his power level. Sykkuno was labeled Harvey Weinstein Epstein rapist man. Sykkuno is a loser and a freak for creating this character to pick up women and cheat on his longtime partner. That much is certain, but he is not a master manipulator carefully using his powers to blah 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 blah. These women saw a helpless twink and thought they could tame his strange. That is a really funny way of wording it. This is evident from the first few pages of the Mal document, when the editorial paints him as this powerful monster preying on former children. But the messages are just her being extremely forward, trying to slide in raw, which is true. It reaches its zenith point when the Leia freak released an attempted sob stream where she almost tearfully recants a traumatic sexual encounter where she only ever asked if he was seeing someone after she sucked his cock and fucked him in the hotel she was warned not to stay at. Delphi Leah person can't seem to decide if she was a victim or wasn't. I will actually decide she isn't one, because her dramatic tale of woe is included in the initial document, but her friend of years, or week, they aren't consistent on that, Mal, straight up says Elfie Leah felt she wasn't let on in the leaked call, thus contradicting the document. TLDR, fuck Sykkuno, fuck Elfie Leah, fuck Mal, fuck Leah. It's absolutely insane these clout demons told his ex's story, the only victim, and leaked her identity without her consent. 10 out of 10 drama. Also, Mugen goes down with the ship here as he signal boosts this document almost uncritically because he has survivor's guilt over being Tectone's last friend off the reservation. Beautifully worded from the Mr. Rape Review. Holy shit. Beautifully worded. Fucking Christ. Beautifully worded. Those DMs are diabolical. They didn't cherry pick the ones that make Sykkuno look the worst. Some of them are fucking awful. It's actually crazy that the low XP bar thing won. Okay? I could never say something so pathetic to a woman and successfully get her to fuck me. Okay? If you can do that and the woman still wants to have sex with you after that, I don't know what the fuck you have. A lot of money maybe, but like that's crazy. That's crazy. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Diesel, I'm low XP. Unbutton your shirt.
Blushes and stammers. What? You're a girl and you play games? Wow. Starts sweating profusely.
Crazy. Crazy. Fuck. If you said that to me, I'd laugh in your face and start recording and ask you to repeat. Yeah. God. Well, that's everything for this one. We've gotten through it, guys. Gotten through it. We've gotten through the whole drama. Maybe it's pity sex. Maybe it's money. Maybe his dick game on fire, dude. Did we ever like suspect that maybe he like throws that shit around? Maybe he's got like the fucking one cock above all. What's Deku's quirk? All for one. The cock of all for one, dude. Maybe he has two cocks. He's got BAC, big Asian cock. Do you want an extra Emily palate cleanser? Of course. Mal didn't even get hit. That's crazy. Yeah, that's true. Sure, what's extra Emily up to? Yeah, dude. Turkey Tom with his BWC, brother. Oh, man. He has cock no jutsu. Fuck! Dude, that's crazy. Alright, KJ just sent me something. Uh-oh.
He's got the gold member.
He's got the gold member. After accidentally exposing yourself review botting on stream, leaked data shows extra Emily allegedly purchasing Twitch viewers via her private email. Many such cases I'm beginning to notice, especially with the former OTK alumni. So here's her order. That Twitch 1,000 viewers weekly. Wow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's dumb enough to show it.
How cool. But, okay, anything else?
Oh, this is Emily. Have you met her?
Yes, Chris!
Oh.
Was there a reason why you were late?
How?
Oh, it was in that, like, really small, like... It's like in, like, a really small window. Interesting. Unfortunately, Mizkif is the one who got it.
Now, what do we see? Interesting. Paid with Stripe. Her contact info was Mythic Talent. Oh, Emily, bro.
Mizkif definitely also bots his viewers, but whatever. Those in glass houses. Wow. Beto, you weren't subscribed? You've been a viewer for a very long time. Bro, girl had the tab up, bro. She checked before stream. Yes, she's the one who drives like crazy. She's the one who's constantly nearly crashing her car and running over old women on the street. Yes. Fucking course, who watches Miskip in the year of our Lord and Savior 2026? Children with messy profile pictures, actually. Children with messy profile pictures. She's a regular on Diorio's streamer crash bits. God, if you want a funny one, I'll put a weirdo in stream suggestions. I need to get out of here. I need to go to work. It's yes, the Ninja Turtles guy. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do the Ninja Turtles guy. Oh my god, the racist Nick Fuentes Ninja Turtles guy. Yes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta get to fucking work. I gotta open a store. But yes, it is. Strixhaven comes out today, guys. Strixhaven. It's gonna be a good one.